in the big leagues is behind the plate, the catcher. It generally takes a catcher about a year and a half before he really becomes comfortable. But in the first 7 weeks of the season, we have seen dramatic improvement in J.P. Arencibia's play from what we saw in spring training.
And the biggest, I think, for me is his ability to be a leader. Take control of a ball game. You have to do that. You've got to call out the defensive signals for the runners when they are on base, and Arencibia has done that. Here he goes through the first and third situation, or the first and second situation. You also have to be able to go out there, know your pitcher. When Ricky Romero gave up the base hit to Johnny Damon, you see the reaction, a 4-pitch walk to Evan Longoria, and then a ball one. He senses something here. He goes out there, he's going to talk to his pitcher, and the pitching staff is starting to show their trust in that young receiver. Another big part of what he does. We all know he can hit.
He's been able to hit throughout his career, and he has not taken his bat behind the plate, and the catching hasn't affected his hitting. J.P. Arencibia currently leads the Major League rookies in home runs. He's hit 7 already.
That's the big part, I think, not taking it from behind the plate to the batter's box. Remember the kind of spring he had. It wasn't very good offensively, but I think a whole key for J.P. Arencibia is his ability to work the pitcher. If they throw one in there, he's going to hit it. But only Jose Bautista has seen more pitches at the plate than J.P. Arencibia. He has an idea of what the pitchers are trying to do to him, and he has counteracted that with some good offensive numbers.
He's only hitting .235, but if you'll remember in that Verlander no-hitter, it was J.P. Arencibia's 12-pitch at-bat that led to the only base runner in what would have been a perfect game. Arencibia is off to a great start in his rookie season. Now let's go back to Jamie Campbell.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
It is a perfect night for baseball. Let's take a look at the Houston Astros lineup. They're 15-29. This is the first game of interleague play in 2011. Bourne, Barmes, and Pence, top three in the order. Clamp hitter is the DH Carlos Lee, big slugger, got a lot of experience in the DH spot. Jason Michaels, Matt Down, the utility player, playing at first base tonight. Chris Johnson off to a slow start with the batting average. Bill Hall and J.R. Tolles behind the plate rounds out the lineup for Brad Mills.
This will be JoJo Reyes' ninth start of the season. Reyes is 0-3 with a .475 earned run average. 5 no decisions along with those 8 starts for JoJo Reyes. He left in the 6th inning in his last start after throwing 5 2/3 innings. He was losing that game 3-2. Reyes 12 walks and 30 strikeouts this season. He's been, at times he's pitched well, and other times he hasn't pitched very well, and he just needs some luck, and I think tonight might be the night for him.
JoJo Reyes has pitched against Houston in the past, and he is set to work here to the leadoff batter, Michael Bourne. Bourne, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight against JoJo Reyes. Looks to the first pitch, down and away. .260 average, and he is truly a prototypical leadoff batter. There's a bunt. Rivera gets over, and they're not going to get Bourne. JoJo Reyes, the left-hander, fell off the third base side of the mound, and once Rivera made that play, it was no contest. Infield hit for Michael Bourne to start the game.
It's almost like you have to pre-figure it out. If he's going to bunt, you've got to go right to the bag, because there's no way, even if he jumps off the mound quickly, I think in a foot race, Michael Bourne is going to beat JoJo Reyes all the time. He got over there, he broke right away, but the foot speed of Bourne just beats him to the bag easily. That's got to be a thing where the second baseman has got to take that one. It's the only way to get him.
And now Michael Bourne is a threat to steal. 14 of 15 this year. Catcher has not thrown him out. Only Chris Capuano of the Mets has picked him off.
That broke a streak of 22 straight stolen bases for Michael Bourne.
JoJo Reyes is going to keep an eye on him. Clint Barmes, the former Colorado Rocky, is now playing shortstop here. Barmes hitting just 116 against left-handed pitching. Excuse me, he's 1 for 16. That's .063. Takes a ball outside.
He has come in here and stabilized the shortstop position for the Astros. Just sometimes with an injury.
You can see Michael Bourne's not really comfortable with JoJo Reyes just yet, trying to get a read on his move, and that time he was breaking back to first. Bobby Meacham, the first base coach, trying to give him some help over there, see if they can't get together and get a better read on Reyes.
Well, some of the things that you look for against left-handed pitchers, you look for where their arms are when he comes to a set position. Does he close his front shoulder? There's little things that pitchers will tip off to the base runner or the coach that they do when they are going home or when they're going over to first base. I wouldn't classify JoJo Reyes' move to first base as a great move.
Great jump at first by Bourne. No chance for Aaron Sebia. And he wisely decides not to make a throw. Boy, Bourne got a great read there. A running start at first.
Yeah, he read something. If the front shoulder closes when he goes home, or doesn't pick his leg up as much, but he steals it without a throw, and the Astros are in business early. 15 stolen bases now.
Barmes looking for something out over the plate so he can drive the ball to the right side of the infield at least. Good pitch, cut the inside corner.
Well, there's nothing wrong with JoJo Reyes' fastball. He just has to put it in a good spot. Right now, just pounding the inside part of the plate against Barma, so he can't advance that runner over to third.
Full count, nobody out. Missed the inside corner. So the first two reach against JoJo Reyes.
So defense for the Blue Jays tonight: Patterson, Davis, and Bautista in the outfield. On the right side of the infield, you see Juan Rivera. He started last night's game for the first time at first base. He'll be joined by Aaron Hill on that side of Diamond. Escobar and Nix on the left side. JP and Sebia just getting better and better behind that plate. Calling pitches, taking control. There is so much involved for a catcher during a ball game.
You got to worry about the hitter. You got to be a psychologist and trying to get the best out of your pitcher. You got to understand defense and just about everything on the baseball field. The catcher has something to do with. Hunter Pence cuts on the first pitch, cues it off the end of the bat. Reyes over in time to retire Pence. Good shovel pass by Rivera. Runners move up to second and third respectively.
It'll work as a sacrifice bunt. I'm sure that's not what Brad Mills, the manager of the Astros, wanted, but Pence right off the end of the bat will advance the runners. That time you see the difference between the running speed of Michael Bourne and Hunter Pence. JoJo Reyes beats him to the bag very easily.
One down, and the infield will stay back, all but the first baseman, Rivera. Juan Rivera is even with the bag at first. Carlos Lee. Big slugger takes the first pitch for a strike. Lee's in the DH spot. National League team. He plays left field for Brad Mills. Pops this one back out of play. One thing we have seen from JoJo Reyes over the course of his starts, he seems to be a little more comfortable with each start. His approach seems to be much more calm, and he's really composed, and now it's just a matter of picking up that first win.
Yeah, working on a lot of things in between starts with Bruce Walton and Pat Henkin down into that bullpen. Working on fastball command, changing speeds, using that cutter a little bit. Needs to get an out here and the runners not advance.
Missed with that breaking ball upstairs. Reyes has faced Carlos Lee. Lee is 4 for 10 with a double and a pair of RBI. Two, of course, met up in the National League when Reyes was pitching for the Braves. 1-2. Drilled, but way foul down the left side.
Lee's a big power hitter, probably their only power threat in that lineup. They come into this game, the Houston Astros, as a team with just 25 home runs. He has 4 of them. Pence leads him with 5.
Up and away with the changeup. There's some of that Aaron Sebia leadership. You could see him hold his hands up as if to say, slow down now, JoJo. Don't try to come at me. But Aaron Sebia has really taken ownership of this pitching staff.
And they are starting to show a lot of confidence in their young receiver. When you sit behind the plate, you can see how that hitter is trying to attack.
Got him. Good off-speed pitch and a big strikeout for JoJo Reyes. First of the night.
And one of the things the catcher can see is how that batter at the plate is adjusting from pitch to pitch. They go breaking ball. It's a hanging breaking ball, but Lee swings right through it. About a belt high in the middle of the plate. They get away with one, and now he's just 1 out away from getting out of this mess.
The Astros have scored just 6 runs in their last 4 games. They have lost all 4 of those on this current road trip. Jason Michaels, the veteran, swings on the first pitch. Michaels is in left field. he is going to benefit from games in the American League ballparks with Lee DH, and Michaels will get a few more at bats.
Yeah, they've already said that Lee will probably DH every one of the games here, get him off the turf.
Line drive down the left field line, but that is a foul ball. Boy, if JoJo Reyes could get out of this first inning jam, he will have walked the tightrope.
Yeah, it's got to make him feel good, too, if he can get out of this. He's one pitch away from it now. Second and third. The big part of the order coming up. And now you see Arancibia thinking, looking down at the hitter where he is adjusting in the plate. He's got the best seat in the house.
Reyes ahead 0-2. Again, let's go over another set of signs. 0-2, 2 outs. Got it. What a good changeup. What a job by JoJo Reyes. First 2 reach with a bunt single and a walk. Then he comes up with back-to-back strikeouts. Gets Jason Michaels to strand 2. For his leadoff batter, Yunel Escobar. Escobar 0 for 4 in last night's game. A perfect night for baseball here at Rogers Center. The roof is back. The Jays are 1 game over 500. Escobar, Patterson, Bautista, top 3 in the order. Aaron Hill has done a good job hitting cleanup the last couple of games. Juan Rivera. Big night last night, had a home run, had a couple of hits in the game. JP Arancibia with his 2-run home run. That was the difference in the ball game. Eric Thames continues to DH early in his career. Rajay Davis and Jason Nix round out the lineup.
Anuri Rodriguez will take the mound for the Houston Astros, looking for his first victory in the major leagues. He made 9 relief appearances for the Astros last month, and when they needed a starter, made his first career start versus the Reds, pitched well without a win. He was roughed up then his last 2 times out, once by the Reds and once by the Mets. His next 2 starts, and this will be his first game against an AL opponent.
Misses with the first pitch at 92. As we mentioned, Escobar 0 for 4 in last night's game. Still hitting a very solid 279. Rodriguez is a Rule 5 player. He was taken out of the Tampa Bay Rays organization in the offseason and made the ball club in spring training. Long drive to left field. Michael's back. Will be camped under just shy of the scoreboard in left. Escobar got underneath it a bit. Escobar, his last 10 games have been very productive.
I think he's just going to get better and better as he gets more at bats. That time he climbed on a pitch and just missed, hitting a leadoff home run.
Number 2 hitter Corey Patterson sitting on 999 hits. Patterson's really flourished in the 2 spot.
average at 280. Also been fairly productive with 19 RBI.
That's a number that jumps out for me, the 19 RBIs. I was talking to some of the media from the Houston Astros before the game, and we were talking about Corey Patterson, and I was telling them I think a direct result of hitting right in front of Jose Bautista. You get a lot of fastballs. They're going to challenge Patterson. They don't want to walk them, and then have to face Bautista with runners on base.
He's got a 10-game hit streak, and during those 10 games, he's hit .311. And it certainly helps to have that kind of protection behind you. Breaking ball cut on and missed. Patterson strikes out. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Jose Bautista will step to the plate. I asked Bautista about his approach against Rodriguez, and he said, well, I haven't seen him before. I watched him pitch on television in the Dominican Republic, but I think he's going to throw me some breaking balls.
I would be shocked if he threw him a fastball for a strike.
That's a broken bat. Little looper into center field. Michael Bourne coming on and makes the catch. Good quick inning for Onuri Rodriguez. A 3 up, 3 down first inning on just 9 pitches. A stretch now, 27 straight starts. This is his 27th start without a win. And so they're trying to snap the streak with a Rick Vaughn Wild Thing haircut, courtesy of John Roush.
John Roush got the clippers out and said, come here, my man, we got to change things up a little bit. I think he looks a little bit more like Arrowhead Holmes. Remember Arrowhead Holmes?
There's a first pitch fouled off by Matt Downs, but Jojo Reyes has the full support of his entire ball club. Everybody's pulling for him to snap that streak. I'm sure he's tired of hearing about it.
I know the manager's tired of talking about it. We're tired of talking about it. You go out there, you compete, you do the best you can, and sometimes you pitch well, you're matched up against the wrong guy. Sometimes you pitch poorly and you don't get any runs. The only thing you can do as a big leaguer, you got to shut all that out. You got to go out there and just do the best you can and make good pitches. Try to be as consistent as possible.
Good off-speed pitch through the changeup very effectively to Matt Downs.
You know, and if you do that, if you go out there and pitch your game, do the things that you're capable of, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have the talent. He certainly has the arm and the talent. Now he's got to go out there and produce.
2-2. Missed downstairs. And that's the one thing everybody always talks about. Take care of what you can control. And JoJo Reyes can control his effort, control his work, control his conditioning, and he's trying to control the strike zone. Change up, strikeout. 3 strikeouts in a row for JoJo Reyes.
I think that's going to be a big pitch for him. Let's take a look at the scouting report for JoJo Reyes, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. More fastball. He's taking the approach that Ricky Romero is also. More fastballs to command the strike zone and get some good extension. I think he needs to get outs with the secondary pitches. That breaking ball that we just saw, the cutter and the changeup, I think are going to be big pitches, especially in interleague play where the guys do not have the good scouting reports on them. And work being done for JoJo Reyes. He's trying different things, trying to become more consistent. Another good changeup there. He's putting the work in to win a ball game. Now he just has to perform.
Third baseman Chris Johnson with a 1-1 count. A lot of these right-handed hitters have struggled against lefty pitching so far. Johnson hitting 161. Hits that one hard down the left field line. That's a fair ball all the way up against the wall. Corey Patterson quickly gets it headed towards second base. Hill's got a chance. Good tag by Aaron Hill, and Johnson is out. What a great tag by Hill. He went right to the base. He didn't try to tag Johnson. He went right to the base.
You know what else he did is he got the ball and he buried his glove right in the dirt. We saw him earlier this year swipe at a guy and bring the glove up. Patterson with a good strong throw. It's high, but it just lofts right in, and he buried the glove right in the dirt. Breaking ball by Johnson. He ripped it into left field, and he's thinking about second base right here. But the play's right in front of him. Corey Patterson will pick up the assist in the outfield, but watch Hill go down and just leave the glove there.
Bill Hall, the second baseman. Hall came up through the Brewers organization, played in Boston. And with that, he stopped by the batting cage to say hello to John Farrell. Hall's been out of the lineup last couple of days.
He just wore out the Blue Jays last year as a member of the Red Sox. You would go into Fenway Park, Terry Francona would put him into the lineup and he would do something, hit a home run or do something to help that team win.
3-1 count. Boy, JoJo Reyes has got that changeup working. Again, another aspect of Reyes' pitching is his ability to get on the same page with J.P. Arencibia.
Recognizing that that pitch is working for him early.
Ground ball wide of third. Jason Nix has it. Another good inning for JoJo Reyes. He gives up a hit but gets a fine defensive play by Corey Patterson, who nails Johnson at second. We played an inning and a half. It's scoreless. field this year.
Yeah, he certainly has. He throws out Carl Crawford for his first outfield assist earlier this season, and this is number 2. All the way from the deep corner in left field to throw out the runner at second base. Corey Patterson does look a lot more comfortable in left field than in center.
Aaron Hill, the cleanup batter, will lead it off. Hill helped out Corey Patterson with that very quick tag right to the bag to get Johnson at second. Aaron Hill was 0 for 3 in last night's game with a walk. Oftentimes we talk about batters facing a pitcher for the first time, how they'll be a little more patient early in the ball game, trying to get a sense for just what they're dealing with.
You can go up there in that first pitch when you step into that batter's box, and you can say, I'm going to take a couple here. I want to see what he has. You just hope that he gets behind early. So you're sitting in these counts now. Aaron Hill has seen 2 fastballs from him. If he throws one near, he might come out of his shoes swinging at it.
Long drive to left field. This ball has got a chance. It is off the wall. Aaron Hill around second. The head first slide. He's in there with the leadoff double.
He got a couple of fastballs that were out of the strike zone. 2-0 looking heater in, and he comes very close to hitting his first home run. This ball driven down the left field line, right off the top of the wall, but not taking anything for granted out of that batter's box. As a hitter, you can feel like you've got it, and you can jog up the first base, and that'll cost you extra bases.
The last thing you want to do when you don't have a home run is stand at home and watch it. Juan Rivera jumps back from an inside pitch. Rivera and Aaron Sebia did most of the damage in last night's game against Tampa Bay. Rivera hit a solo home run in the second. He walked and scored in the seventh and doubled in the eighth. And the breaking ball catches the inside corner. Ball on a strike. Rodriguez is just 23 years old. He started out in the Colorado Rockies organization. He was traded from the Rockies to Tampa Bay for Jason Hamill at the end of spring training in 2009. Rivera would like to get a little something going with the bat. We have heard that Adam Lind is not going to be back as quickly as we thought originally, and Lind won't start baseball activities in Florida until tomorrow. So he's probably 10 days away from returning to the ball club.
Yeah, starting to see some live pitching over the weekend, doing those baseball activities, but still a week away.
Rodriguez had a little trouble with that command. It sounded like it hit something, but it was caught awkwardly in the catcher's glove.
That one up and in. They're trying to go inside against Rivera so he doesn't pull the ball or hit the ball the other side. They want to try and get him to pull the ball so he can't advance the runner.
He does pull it, and Hill breaks for third, and that's a bad break for Hill. He went before he should have there. That ball was in front of him, and he should have held his ground. Rodriguez gets a break.
Off-speed pitch. Generally, when you are a runner at second, any ball to your right, you've got to hold. And a base running mistake right there by Hill as he runs into an easy out. The only thing he could do once he realizes he made a mistake was maybe get into a rundown and stay in it as long as possible. Maybe Rivera can get to second base.
So the Blue Jays lose a base runner in scoring position.
You know what? If you read that and you don't go, which you shouldn't have done, the way Aaron Hill's been stealing bases, I think he could have stole third base easily with Aaron Sebia at the plate.
You can tell yourself, okay, make sure this ball is behind me, and then you just react. And the entire ball club has that mindset of the extra 90 feet, thinking 90 feet at a time, always trying to get that extra base. And that time It just didn't register. JP Arencibia has hit in 3 of his last 4 games. He's 5 for 15 during that stretch, hit a pair of home runs and driven in 6. 7 home runs for Arencibia. That leads Major League rookies in homers. J.R. Toll was the catcher out to talk to Rodriguez.
Well, he has a natural uppercut home run type of swing. He gets into trouble where he gets a little bit too long at times and he gets jammed. But his approach is very solid at the plate. On pace for 25 home runs, which is pretty impressive.
Well, you can remember back in spring training, Arencibia was working so hard on his catching skills that he didn't hit a thing. I mean, there were times when he looked lost at the plate. Fair ball just inside the bag. Rivera will go around second. He's headed for third. The throw goes to third, and Arencibia goes into second. Good base running by Rivera. He had that play right in front of him, and Arencibia ends up at second.
You know, you don't need a third base coach when the ball is right in front of you. You've got to know the outfielder's arms, and you got to know your speed. The mistake being made here by the Astros was the left fielder. You've got to concede this run going to third base. The play was to throw behind him, and I think he would have had a shot at Arencibia. At least he would have put on the brakes and kept the double play in there.
And that's the one thing you want to do early in the game is keep Arencibia from getting into scoring position. Eric Thames, the DH. Well, he's been impressive in the early going. Shows a very good eye, and he looks like a confident hitter.
8 at-bats professionally in the big leagues right here. He has an aggressive idea. John Farrell was talking about the body language that he reads from Eric Thames when he is in the plate, in the box up at the plate. Very positive. Doesn't look overmatched.
Not at all. Not intimidated by big league pitching. 1-1, 1 out. Drilled but foul down the right field side. Do you buy into that? Do you buy into body language? I mean, think about some of the players we see around baseball. When they step into the box, you can think of Alex Rodriguez or David Ortiz. They have a presence when they get into the batter's box.
You can just watch the way they act when they're up at the plate, that they're just going to rake one of these pitches. Now, they might not, but they certainly look like it.
A ball and 2 strikes. Hit on the ground. That should get a run in. Rivera comes in on the ground out by Thames. Aggressive base running by Juan Rivera. He goes to third base and sets up the RBI for Thames.
And a good approach right there. He struck out a couple of times in his first 2 games against breaking ball. A little bit too anxious. That time cut his swing down a little bit and just keep the ball in the middle of the diamond and you'll get an RBI. That's why his whole team is up there to give him high fives.
Rajai Davis with Arencibia at third and 2 outs. The breaking ball for a strike.
It's a game of adjustments when you're hitting. Everybody goes through it.
Rajai Davis puts a charge in it to center, but Michael Bourne will shuffle back and make the play. But the Blue Jays come through with a run. A couple of doubles, and Arencibia puts Rivera in position for the ground out. Eric Thames has 2 ribbies in his young career. We caught up with Wakamatsu and asked him about the progress of his young catcher, J.P. Arancibia.
Started out not catching as much, kind of getting indoctrinated to playing every day. Now he's playing almost every day. And I think the challenge for any young player is not only defensively, but with the expectations offensively. And so he's had to handle probably twice as much as somebody in a different position. And I think he's shown a lot of maturity, and that's that's the biggest thing. I think also the fact that the rapport he's built with the pitching staff has been off the charts. So I'm awfully proud of him. He works and works and works. He has a strong desire to learn the game. There's little things that I see on the bench that make me awfully proud. We had a couple situations last night where he's starting to take it and run with it by himself, and that's what you want as a catching coach. That's what you want as a coach and watching somebody progress. And the key's probably maturity more than anything.
J.P. Arancibia has the look of an everyday catcher now. And Wakamatsu has done a great job with him, and they've put in a lot of time. And even before this game tonight, they were working on throwing mechanics. And boy, Pat, I remember in the spring, you and I would look at each other, and J.P. would drop balls, and he'd have trouble blocking balls, and we go, oh man, this is not going to be pretty.
His throws down to second base were not timely.
J.R. Tolles lifts a high pop-up into center field. Bautista comes over, calls it, and makes the catch.
But when we saw JP in the spring, he was telling us, I'm learning things that I've never been taught before about receiving the ball and how to set up and how to get ready to block balls and how to throw. And I said, well, that's going to take some time then. And we're just now starting to see the fruits of all the work that he's put in.
One out, back to the top of the order. Michael Bourne, the center fielder, had a bunt single his first time up. Tries it again. Well, it's a good play for a left-handed batter when you've got a left-handed pitcher on the mound, because Jojo Reyes' delivery is naturally going to take him away from the first base side of the infield.
It has to be, I think, communication between the first baseman and the second baseman. If he bunts it, second baseman has to say, I've got it.
Good breaking ball blocked by Arancibia. Yeah, it's a difficult thing, and you can see where Aaron Hill is, and he's a long way from first base, and you've got to believe that in a foot race, Michael Bourne might beat him to the bag. Lays off that breaking ball. 2-2. Blue Jays have taken a 1-0 lead here early. Eric Thames with the ground out RBI. Strike three called. Fastball catches the outside corner. Jojo Reyes has 4 strikeouts.
I asked John Farrell about Jojo Reyes, and he said fastball command is always going to be important. Can you put it where you need to? And Jojo Reyes puts it right there, right on the outside part of the plate. From over top, it just clipped the front of the plate. Walks haven't been a problem for Reyes. He throws plenty of strikes. They have to be quality strikes.
Well, I think one thing that has hurt him, he's pitched from behind a lot, and tonight that's not been the case. He's been ahead of most of these Astros hitters. That's reached for and popped foul, and that'll reach the seats. Boy, I tell you what, he has worn out that outside corner to the hitters. He got Bourne on that down and away fastball, and Barnes had to reach for that pitch down and away.
Keep it on the corners, and you're going to win a lot of games. Keep it out of the middle of the plate. This is the Reyes that we saw in spring training. Come right after you. 4 strikeouts already for Jojo Reyes.
Foul back by Barnes. Well, it's interesting, and Reyes knew what was at stake all spring long. He knew he was pitching for a spot on the team. He was out of options, so he probably felt, well, if I don't make it in the rotation, they'll put me in the bullpen, at least for the start of the season. That's popped up. Revere over near the seats, and it'll be back a couple of rows. But this is the 9th start now for Jojo Reyes, and I just think he's more comfortable now. And yeah, it's been a long drought for him, but I think now he believes he can pitch here, and he's had some decent games. Change up in the dirt.
Walks haven't been a problem, like we said, just 12 all season long coming into this one. He really had just one bad walk game. That was back in Boston when it was about 30 degrees out. He had 5 walks in 3 innings. Every other game he's had just 1.
Strikes out Barnes. Jojo Reyes through 3 innings has 5 strikeouts. 2 more here in the third. A 1-2-3 third. Barnes chases that pitch outside. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. Pitching long relief for the Blue Jays this year, and he's going to be rewarded on Monday. He will make the start against the Yankees to open up the 3-game series in New York. He's making that start because just before the start of this game, it was announced that Jesse Lynch has been placed on the disabled list with a right shoulder impingement. And that's retroactive back to the 19th, the last day he pitched. So Villanueva will get the call on Monday.
And I think the right call also. Bring a veteran into Yankee Stadium to pitch against the Yankees. I don't think it would be fair to go get one of your young players from the minor leagues and pitch him and throw him into the fire at Yankee Stadium and make that start. So Mike McCoy's going to come up, and he will be on the roster tomorrow.
Mike McCoy has got some frequent flyer miles going back and forth from Toronto to Las Vegas. But he's not complaining, certainly on this direction.
Coming east, right?
Cued off the end of the bat. Jason Nix hits the changeup to the first baseman, and Matt Downs makes the play. 1 out here in the third.
So who is Anuri Rodriguez? He's got a late moving fastball, about 91 or 92 miles an hour. He's got a cutter type of slider, a loopy curveball, and a good changeup. And when he gets himself into trouble, gets into jams, he tends to overthrow. I think that's just showing you that he hasn't had a lot of innings in the big leagues, trying to throw through the batter instead of making good pitches. So the Blue Jays will take a look at him. First time through the lineup. They've reached him for a couple of hits and a run.
Yunel Escobar popped up to the left fielder his first time up. Mentioned that Escobar had been on a tear over his last 10 games. Escobar is one of those hitters that changes a lot, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think back to Cal Ripken and how many different batting stances he would have during the course of one single ball game. But Escobar is always tinkering with different bats, different stances, trying different things. You were a pretty consistent hitter. Do you always feel like you wanted to have the same approach every time?
You know, I would move around in the box a little bit. I don't think my swing would ever change. Against certain pitchers, like knuckleball pitchers, I'd have a different approach. I'm sure you would also. But changing, flat out change on my stance, I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
Broken back grounder to third, and Escobar is retired.
You know why? Because you don't build confidence in something. There's not that conviction of what you're trying to do. I understand, like, moving your hands around and everything like that, but not changing the swing.
And a lot of guys get in trouble when they tinker like that frequently. But Clay Murphy's always trying to remind Escobar to stay consistent in his approach. Corey Patterson struck out his first time. He will hit here with 2 outs in the third, looking for his career 1,000th hit. .999 for Patterson in the hit department. So he's popped up over near the Blue Jays dugout. You remember your 1,000th hit?
Yes, I do.
Who'd you get it off of?
I don't remember who I got it off of, but it happened in Kansas City, and I got a base hit into left field, and I knew it was my 1,000th hit, and I looked on the scoreboard, nothing.
No respect.
Came back in the clubhouse after the game and saw the PR guy, and I go, you know, that was my 1,000th hit, right? And he's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's what I got for my 1,000th hit.
And there's Corey Patterson's 1,000th hit right on cue.
Get the ball. Jose Bautista knows it. He's at the plate wanting them to throw that ball in. And it's just now on the scoreboard. That's a lot of hits.
Boy, it sure is a lot of hits. 1,000 career hits for Corey Patterson, a great milestone. And he'll have that souvenir to put on his mantle. To give you an idea, the number 2 man on the roster of the Blue Jays is Aaron Hill. He has 817 hits. So Jose Bautista gets a chance to hit with a man on and 2 outs. Blue Jays with a 1-0 lead here in the third.
I'm surprised at that number. 817 is second.
Yeah.
And Juan Rivera, I would think, who's been around a long time, would be.
Rivera has 782. Line drive toward left field. Michaels on the run, makes the dive and makes the catch. Jason Michaels robs Jose Bautista of a hit with a diving catch in left. He got a good jump and extends, rolls over on his back and ends the third inning. And here's the baseball. Bautista wants it. They toss it to the side.
The ball boy, I guess, didn't get the press notes as he throws it right into the ball bag, and John Farrell goes and gets it. My question is, you sure they got the right one when they threw it into that bag?
Yeah, he just reached in there and grabbed the ball. Hunter Pence jumps on the first pitch and singles into center field to start the fourth. 1-0 Blue Jays. Third hit for Houston. Corey Patterson, that great milestone, tremendous accomplishment. And it just puts into perspective what Derek Jeter is trying to do. Get his 3,000th hit. He's now 30 away from 3,000.
30 away. Johnny Damon, we got to see him this last trip here.
Carlos Lee at first, a throw to first base. Hunter Pence is 2 for 2 in steals. Pence was breaking back toward first when Reyes delivered that pitch to the plate.
It looks like they're trying to gauge something off the leg kick of JoJo Reyes. A low leg kick. They're thinking he's coming over to first base.
That's a foul ball. Just barely foul. Down at third.
Waved foul quickly by Larry Vanover. There's the low leg kick that we're talking about right there. You see that ball go just foul. A lot of times you'll see pitchers with a higher leg kick. They're going home because they want to generate a little bit more behind the pitch. In a low leg kick, they throw to first base.
Obviously, the key to that is to make sure you do the same thing on every pitch so you don't tip off the fact that you're going to go to the plate. Carlos Lee has been tough on lefties, hitting nearly 400 with some damage. A changeup, boy, that's been a good pitch for Reyes. JoJo Reyes is pitching with a lot of confidence. Maybe it's the new haircut.
The arrowhead. I think it's the changeup, and the Astros not very familiar with what he has. Second time through the lineup now. See if there are adjustments being made.
Ball is popped up. Second baseman Hill. Wow.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Jason Michaels made a fine diving catch to end the bottom of the third inning. He robbed Jose Bautista of a hit. Getting in the starting left field here in this interleague game in American League ballpark. Carlos Lee's the DH. Mentioned Pence with just 2 steals this season. Ground ball could be 2. Escobar to Hill for 1. Back to first. In time. Double play. A beautiful 6-4-3 double play that ends the top of the fourth inning. Aaron Hill had a double his first time up. Juan Rivera scored the run, and J.P. Arencibia hit a double as well. been driving the ball with much more authority of late.
Yeah, he certainly has, and I think a lot of it has to do is more relaxed at the plate. When you watch him swing, he's not chasing pitches out of the strike zone. This was his first at bat against Rodriguez. He came so close from getting his first home run. He looks comfortable and relaxed at the plate, and good things are going to happen when you do that.
Well, you talked about Eric Thames and his mindset, how he really believes that he's going to hit. And I think now Aaron Hill is starting to believe that his stroke is together and he's hitting with more confidence right now.
It's compact. He's seeing it. The whole thing, I think, for Aaron Hill is not chasing pitches out of the strike zone, especially up.
Pitch down and away for a ball. 1-0 ball game. Manuri Rodriguez, the 23-year-old starter. This is his 4th start of the season. Good pitch on the outside corner. Rodriguez didn't move into the rotation until the 4th of May. He started at Cincinnati and pitched a very good 5 innings, allowed just 1 hit.
His next time out, though, was against the same Reds, and he was cruising through the first 4 innings. He had given up just 1 hit against a very good offensive team in the Reds, and then the whole thing fell apart for him. He ended up giving up 8 hits and 5 earned runs in just 5 innings. Brad Mills just looking for anybody to help him right the ship.
Good hack on that outside pitch. He found it back to the screen. Looks like the Blue Jays have a little better gauge on Rodriguez this inning. Hill hasn't offered in anything that's been out of the strike zone.
When you're seeing the ball as well as he is, you're not going to go fishing for those.
Just off the plate.
Start taking those really tough pitches. Like that.
Aaron Hill leading off the 4th inning in this 1-0 ball game. Two for 2. Juan Rivera will come to the plate. Rivera hit into a fielder's choice his first time up, but he had a big day offensively yesterday.
Low fastball from Davis, and he goes out there, reaches, and hits it right off the top of the wall. And then he comes right back later in the ball game. Almost picked up an RBI here, and Hill has to stop at third base, but it's good to see Juan Rivera shortening up that swing and hitting the ball hard.
Now, the Blue Jays need some balance in their attack to support Jose Bautista and force the pitchers into pitching to the home run leader. Lined into center field. That'll get down in front of Michael Bourne. Hill stops at second base.
When you start to get contributions from the middle of the lineup, it starts lengthening out your lineup. The top has been very good. The middle is now starting to come around. Another fastball, and Rivera can get on top of that one and rip it into center field. Starts lengthening them out. You're going to see more runs scored, more hits happening.
Blue Jays have something going now for JP Arencibia. First and second, nobody out. JP hit the double his first time up for Arencibia, his 6th double of the season to go along with 7 homers. He's also chipped in and hit 2 triples. Well, you can see the Blue Jays hitters have really picked up on Rodriguez early in this game. Nobody's really chasing anything.
They're not. It's not the check swing though. They're in a good hitting position when that ball is crossing the plate.
Brad Arnsberg, the former Blue Jays pitching coach, is now with the Astros. Hit sharply. Gloved by Barmes to second for 1. Back to first, double play. Boy, what a good play by Clint Varmus, the shortstop. He gloved it and then tossed to Bill Hall, who made a good pivot around the bag.
The defense for the Astros saving us some runs. You saw it last inning against Bautista to save a run, and right now Varmus with that acrobatic play at shortstop. After the first 2 runners reach on base, a big double play right here against J.P. Arencibia is going to take a 2-out hit now.
Eric Thames goes after the first pitch and pops it over into foul ground. Chris Johnson is there and makes the catch, and the Blue Jays had a good opportunity, but they hit into a double play. Rodriguez gets out of it. Now it's time for this update with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn at the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Of Fan Friday, the TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. They are front and center for a very good pitching performance by JoJo Reyes. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts through 4 innings.
The only thing for JoJo Reyes is base runners. He's given up the 1 walk and the 3 hits. Base runners have been a problem for him coming into this game. 72 base runners in 41 2/3 innings pitched. He's had to pitch out of a lot of trouble, but tonight he's got the changeup working and he's throwing strikes.
And the defense has picked him up. Corey Patterson threw out a runner at second base, and they turned a 6-4-3 double play behind Reyes to end the 4th. Matt Downs, the first baseman, struck out his first time up.
Downs has been a little bit of a power source for the Astros. He has made some starts at third base and some starts at second. This is his first start at first base.
Bouncing ball to third. Long throw for Nix. Right on the money. 1 out.
It's a team that is in dire need of some home run hitting. Downs has 3. The whole team has just 25.
It's kind of surprising. Even big Carlos Lee, he only has 4. And their home ballpark is a very hitter-friendly ballpark.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They play half their games in a bandbox, but they've only been able to get 25 of them.
This Johnson, the third baseman. Johnson singled to left field, bounced it off the wall. Corey Patterson retrieved it and threw a strike to second to nail Johnson. Well, you made a great call early in the game about JoJo Reyes. This is what we saw from JoJo Reyes all spring long.
Get it? Don't think about it. Let's just keep pumping fastballs and strikes and stay out of the middle of the plate.
And just when we were talking about his command, he loses one and hits Johnson. So now Reyes has walked a batter and hit a batter.
His 6th hit batter of the season. Look, they're trying to cut the ball on the inner half, and they hit him on the back leg.
So with 1 out, Johnson's aboard. Bill Hall rounded to third his first time up. Late on a fastball. See that changeup starting to creep into the minds of the Astros hitters.
Hard to go up there looking for a changeup on the first pitch. But that's exactly what Bill Hall looked like he was doing.
Another foul off the end of the bat. Blue Jays have been streaky, especially from the starting rotation. First of April, they got off to a great start, 5-2. Then they ran into a rough month from April 9th to May 9th. And recently, they've turned things around. They've won 7 of 8 because of the strength of their starting pitching. Good ERA at 3.49. Reyes missed the outside corner.
It's where it starts. The game is built on that starting rotation. You see Brandon Morrow on the right. That's who will pitch tomorrow. And then Kyle Drabek in the middle will go on Sunday.
Drabek and Ricky Romero won their last starts. Great jump at first base. Cut on and miss. Strikeout. And a throw to second. Not in time. Chris Johnson got a great jump. Bill Hall strikes out. So there are 2 outs with Johnson in scoring position.
First stolen base of the season for Johnson, and he guessed right against Reyes. Fastball right down the middle. Not a whole lot that J. Pierre and Sebia could do right there.
So the tying runs in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Number 9 hitter is the catcher, J.R. Tolles. Swings at the first pitch, pops it over near the warning track. Rivera with a long run makes a nice catch. Well, what a good effort by Juan Rivera. Looks like he's been playing first base his whole life. He was closing in on that wall, and he picks up JoJo Reyes. The defense has helped out Reyes all night long. This time it's Juan Rivera to end the 5th. It looks like the outfield position background helped him out here.
It certainly did. Watch him get to the wall and catch it just like an outfielder. A good play to help his starting pitcher. Bangs up against the wall, and his defensive background as an outfielder really came into play right there by helping out JoJo Reyes. Good play.
Big smile on Rivera's face. He'll take playing time wherever he can get it. Now he's starting to swing the bat. He has a hit tonight and scored a run. 8-9 for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the fifth. Rajai Davis will lead things off. Shows Buck, pulls the bat back. This was a strike. Rodriguez has given up some base runners. He'd allowed 5 hits, but the Blue Jays haven't been able to cash it in. Rodriguez got a double play behind him in the 4th inning. It was a breaking ball, and that's given Rajai Davis a lot of trouble.
Yeah, the adjustments being made or trying to be made by Davis to reach that outside pitch. Breaking ball from the right-handers. He's been seeing a lot of them lately.
1-2. It's too far off the plate.
What are some of the things that Rajai Davis can do to combat that?
Well, with the guidance of his hitting coach, Dwayne Murphy, Davis has gotten closer to the plate. It kind of gives him the opportunity to make everything seem like it's on the inner half. So that ball that's off the plate outside is way off the plate. And that's what Murphy has tried to convince Davis to do. Get up on top of the plate and you can reach the outside corner. As he does there, and he's got good speed. Barmes in a hurry, just in time. 1 out here in the 5th. It's time for an update. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Great speed by Rajai Davis, so Barmes has to hurry. I thought Downs did a good job of cheating, pulling that foot just before the ball arrived. You can do that to trick those umpires.
Done that a few times, I'm sure.
Sure.
You just go out and meet the ball and come off the bag just ahead of that contact into your glove. Jason Nix grounded to the first baseman. His first time up. He hits this one hard, but that's way foul down the left side. We're talking about Philadelphia. How about Jason Giambi last night? Giambi had 3 home runs last night. At 40 years old, 131 days, becomes the second oldest player to have 3 home runs in a game. Only Stan Musial was older. How about that? A 3-homer game.
7 ribbies.
It was the first 3-home run game for Giambi. He was the MVP in 2000. You know what? You forget about Giambi, then all of a sudden he pops up and has a big night for the Rockies.
Todd Helton gets the night off, and Giambi comes in and breaks.
Nix does a good job to lay off that high fastball. It's a ball in 2 strikes. Rodriguez has done a pretty good job of minimizing the damage of those 5 hits. He's around the plate. He hasn't walked the batter. Late swing, gets a piece of it and fouls it back. Brad Mills in his 2nd year as the manager here with the Astros. He and John Farrell were on the same coaching staff in Boston. Mills was the bench coach for Terry Francona. John Farrell, of course, the pitching coach.
World Series champs in 2007.
All right, 3 call. Late call by the umpire, Brian Gorman, but a good off-speed pitch gets Jason Nix.
Save during the lawn and garden sale, only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
2 outs here in the 5th inning. Blue Jays with a 1-0 lead. They scored their only run in the 2nd inning on a ground ball out by Eric Thames. Yunel Escobar batting for the 3rd time. You can see why Houston was anxious to keep Rodriguez. He's a strike thrower. He's not overpowering with his velocity, but boy, he does a good job of using his secondary pitches and throws them in the zone.
He's 23 years old. 4th career major league start, and you talk about being kept. He was a Rule 5 draft. You mentioned that earlier. That doesn't happen very often.
Rule 5 is an opportunity to dip into another team's organization and take a player off the AAA roster. And when you do that, you pay $50,000. The player comes to your organization. You can keep him on your major league roster, but if you decide to return him, the team that gave him up has the rights to get him back.
If you pick him off that roster, you have to have him in the big leagues for the whole season. And this year, he is one of 5 Rule 5 draftees from 2010 that were not returned and are currently on active rosters in the major leagues.
Breaking ball just off the plate, 2-2.
You might get 1 or 2 a year, but this year there have been 5 of them.
Yeah, and this is a good one here. You can see that he's just 23 years old. He's going to get bigger and stronger. He's 6'4". They list him at 199, but I guarantee he weighs more than that. That ball is hit on the line to the gap in left field, and that'll bounce and go all the way to the wall. Escobar is headed for second, and he'll stop there with 2 outs. Boy, that was a good swing.
It was short, and it was bat right to the ball. Rodriguez throws him an inside fastball. And a nice, quick, short swing by Escobar rips it into the gap in left field. Watch how quickly the barrel of the bat goes right to the ball. That is classic swing right there from Escobar.
It's exactly what Escobar was working on during batting practice. And after every round, he'd turn around to Dwayne Murphy and say, "Is that short? Is that short?" Certainly that paid off his first hit tonight. So he's in scoring position for Corey Patterson. Patterson collected his 1,000th career hit in his last at bat. First pitch strike. Patterson's average up to 284. Appeal down at third. Larry Vanover said no swing. With that base hit, Corey Patterson has extended his hit streak to 11 games. That ties his career high. The last time he had an 11-game hit streak was way back in 2004 when he played with the Cubs.
Also ties a team record, or team this year. Adam Lynn had a 11-game hit streak earlier this year.
Ball in the strike. Just off the inside edge. Boy, Corey Patterson is so talented, and his career has really been a roller coaster. Former #1 pick of the Cubs. Had a 20 home run season in Chicago early in his career.
They anointed him the next one in Chicago, the next great Cubs star. And things just didn't work out for him.
Well, he's got all the tools except he doesn't have a strong throwing arm. He's made a couple of good throws this year, but that's certainly not a strength of his, but he runs well and covers a lot of ground in the outfield. And Dwayne Murphy has been pleased with the consistency that Patterson has shown here through the first 7 weeks of the season. Bottom of the 5th, Blue Jays lead 1-0. Escobar at second base with his 4th double of the season. I think Rodriguez should be concerned with Escobar at second.
We saw this last night from Wade Davis, the starter for Tampa, paying a lot of attention to the runner, and it cost him. 2 outs, 2-1. You know Patterson's going to get a fastball.
Well, remember the breaking ball and missed the outside corner.
Thank you.
Now I'll agree with you. He's going to get a fastball. Jose Bautista's on deck.
That's why he's going to get a fastball.
That's pretty good protection for Corey Patterson.
Infield very deep for the Astros, trying to keep the ball in the infield.
He missed. Patterson takes the walk. Bautista will come to the plate with 2 on and 2 outs.
And a chance to put a hurting on him. You were right. He was paying a lot of attention with 2 outs to that runner at second base. The scouting report is out there that the Blue Jays will try and steal even with 2 outs, no matter the count, the game situation, the batter, it doesn't matter. But that time took the attention away from the starting pitcher, who ended up walking Patterson, and now finds himself in trouble with Jose Bautista.
Breaking ball off the plate. That's exactly what Bautista expects from Rodriguez. Major League home run leaders, 2 of them reside in the American League East. Jose Bautista with 16, Curtis Granderson with 14. Ryan Braun of the Brewers has 12, and there are 3 players tied with 11. Bautista has homered 13 times in his past 22 games coming into this game tonight. At the start of the game, Bautista was fairly confident Rodriguez was going to throw in breaking balls.
Knows a little something about it. He's got a cutter type of slider, a loopy type of curveball, and a good changeup.
There's a breaking ball. He fouls it off. This is an interesting number, and this is sometimes how you can't get all wrapped up in stats. Runners in scoring position, Bautista's hitting 185. But look at the walks. 20 walks. He's just not getting much to hit. He's got runners in scoring position now. He's got Escobar at second. Corey Patterson with the walk is at first. That's the first walk Rodriguez has issued tonight. So 1-0 ball game. Blue Jays lead it. Well, you can't really blame J.R. Tolles. If there is any doubt in Rodriguez's mind, you can't have him pitching to Bautista without a pretty good idea what he wants to do.
Yeah, he has to have conviction of what he wants to do, and they both have to be together on how they want to try and get him out. They go over all the scouting reports, and they go over situations also. Runners on, runners in scoring position, what you're going to do, what the score is. Right now, they have an idea. Bautista does the right thing. That's the right thing. You step out and make them wait now.
No sign. Looked like took something off the fastball. Bautista got a piece of it. You know, you mention something about the hitter dictating the pace of the game, and that's a different approach. Many years ago, it was the pitcher that dictated it. Now the hitters call for time, step out of the box, make the pitcher wait. 1-2, 2 outs. Strike 3 call. Bautista had a good look at it. He felt it was off the plate outside. Brian Gorman rings him up. And Rodriguez strikes out a pair in the 5th. Blue Jays strand 2 more. They've left 4 on base through 5 innings. It's a Couple of on to end the 5th inning, and Bautista felt the ball was off the plate outside. Jose Bautista is now 0 for 8. Didn't agree with the call, and the frustration shows up in the dugout. Michael Bourne leads it off. Bourne is 1 for 2. He has had a bunt single and struck out. Hill can't make the play on the dive. Bautista gets over quickly to cut it off to keep Bourne to a long single. Hill stretched out, but it was past him and into right field.
You can see him get ready up at the top of your screen, and he almost comes up with the circus play at second base. Michael Bourne is very quick. You mentioned the 14 for 15 in stolen bases. He's also led the National League in stolen bases the last 2 years.
He has a steal here tonight. There's a bunt. It's popped in the air. Rivera makes the grab. Well, Barmas jabbed at it, and it's an easy play for Rivera.
You think that could have been a good spot right there to exchange the runners? Exchanging the runners meaning, okay, you've got a fast guy at first and a slow runner bunting the ball. Rivera lets this drop, let Aaron Hill catch the ball, and they get the force out at second. Bourne's not going anywhere. Hill catches that on a bounce. They get the force at second. Now you've got a slow runner at first, and you take the speed of Michael Bourne off the bases.
I agree with you 100%, but Juan Rivera is making his second start at first, and he just wants to make sure he doesn't mess anything up.
It's called exchanging the runners.
Well, Reyes is doing a good job of staying ahead of these Astro hitters as Hunter Pence goes after that first pitch. And that's another way to counteract the threat of a steal. Throw a lot of first pitch strikes. You eliminate the number of pitches Michael Bourne has at first.
He's not getting a very good read on JoJo Reyes over at first base. Both of his feet are on the dirt area, the cutout. And his first movement, at least the first 2 pitches to Hunter Pence was leaning back towards first.
That time he guessed right. Gets back easily. Reyes necessarily hasn't been a great defender of the stolen base, but that steal by Bourne early, base runners have now been successful in 7 of 8 attempts this year. Ball and a strike to Hunter Pence. There goes Bourne. Pitch out. Aaron Sebia's throw to second is a good one. That's the first time a catcher has caught Michael Bourne, and he doesn't believe it. Dan Bellino, the second base umpire, says just go to the dugout. And he's hot. Here comes Brad Mills trying to save a center fielder. And now Mills is going to take over the argument. And Bourne wisely leaves.
The only other time that he was caught was a pickoff by Chris Capuano, who's got a very good move, a left-handed pitcher over the National League. This time the Blue Jays guessed right, pitch out. And Aaron Sebia with a strike at second. Michael Bourne, the way he came up, he was saying that he was safe.
Bourne, I love the way he goes into second with the feet first and a straight leg. That's the quickest path to the bag. And it's a close play.
I think his argument was where Aaron Hill tagged him up high. So his leg had to be in there, according to Michael Bourne, but not so, says second base umpire Dan Bellino.
Again, Hill was in good position to receive that ball and make a quick swipe tag. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pence lays off that changeup. One more look at that play at second. Well, even there, it's close, but it looked like Bourne might have had a beat. But again, that shows you how tough it is for the umpires to make the call and split second. just foul. You know, we have the advantage of several different angles and replays and slow motion and say, okay, well, the umpire blew it.
A base runner has got to feel like when he gets to that bag and where the tag is. And just from that reaction, Michael Bourne saying, I felt like my spikes got in there before that tag by Aaron Hill.
Well, you know, part of stealing bases is the ability to slide, and I love that feet first slide at second. And he uses that straight leg. Of course, if you use a bent leg, you're not going to get there as quickly. So JP Arencibia will go down as the first catcher in 2011 to throw out Michael Bourne. Three and two to Hunter Pence. Hopped up center of the field. Davis not sure if he sees it. Now he does, and he recovers in time. Ooh. He was standing there with his hands out to the side saying, I can't see it, but he recovered in time to make the catch. And JoJo Reyes is dealing 6 innings of 4-hit ball. He's shutting out. And look at the defense once again. Davis recovers in time to make the catch of the pop-up. To Rajai Davis, and Murphy was a 6-time Gold Glover in center field for the Oakland Athletics. So he's talking to Davis about how you let everybody know you don't see the ball.
Yeah, if you don't see it, you've got to let everybody know. And for him, there is the reaction from Michael Bourne, the other center field. He comes right out, and it's twilight as the ball gets up above the stands here, and the ball just disappears. About 10 more minutes, it's going to be dark enough. That's what they're looking at right there.
First time Houston has ever played in Toronto. So Michael Bourne wanted to see what the problem was for Rajai Davis. Aaron Hill, a couple of hits tonight. Pumped his average up to 245. Boy, this is a good sight for the Blue Jays. Get him going a little bit. All the way down the left field line up against the wall. Hill is headed for second. Here's the throw from Michael. And it's not in time. Aaron Hill is swinging it.
Swinging it hard, and the ball's jumping off of his bat. Third hit of the night, second double, almost the same way that he hit the ball his first time up. Rips it down into the corner, and then hustles out of that box for 2. Watch him come around first base quickly. Puts his head down and a nice, easy pop-up slide at second.
6 doubles in the last 7 games for Aaron Hill. Boy, that slight adjustment to his batting stance has paid off quickly. Dropped his hands a little bit lower, freed up his arms and shoulders to get that barrel to the ball. Little satisfaction for Dwayne Murphy. 7 hits now for the Blue Jays. Juan Rivera has one of those 7.
The last time we were in this situation, remember when Aaron Hill had the leadoff double in the 2nd inning? They threw a lot of breaking balls to Rivera and fastballs in, so he can't hit the ball the other way.
So here he can take a gamble. You see the Blue Jays have not performed well with runners in scoring position. They are 0 for 6. They've stranded 5.
I would take a shot right here to try and drive him.
Yeah, cheat to the inside.
Yep. And if he moves there, go ahead and drive him in. Don't worry about hitting the ball to the other side.
Hit it out of the ballpark.
Yeah, that's always a nice thing. He was cheating too.
He sure was. He was looking for something on the inner half. He had opened up that front leg and was just hoping that Rodriguez was coming inside. Brad Mills talking to his pitching coach about Rodriguez. Rodriguez has gone only 5 innings in each of his previous 3 starts. He's into the 6th here. Two balls and a strike. Boy, Rodriguez is very deliberate when he unloads to the plate. You mentioned Hill, and Aaron's perfect 7 for 7 in steals. Brad Mills and Brad Arnsberg, the pitching coach, discussing their options with Rodriguez here. It's a 1-0 ball game.
I think you let Rivera hit and see what happens before you think about trying to steal third base.
The breaking ball popped into shallow right field. Hill has to go halfway and it falls in front of Pence. Hill goes over to third and he'll stop there. Aaron Hill knew he couldn't tag up on that ball. Even if it was caught, he could only stay halfway, and he's able to move over to third base.
Some indecision by the defense of the Astros. They haven't been a very good defensive team. The ball hit to the right side. Bill Hall, Hunter Pence, and the first baseman Matt Downs out there. And it falls easily for a base hit. It looked like Bill Hall called for it and then backed off of it.
Again, you wonder if that twilight sky created problems for Hunter Pence. Bill Hall got out there. It looked like he called for it and it kind of backed off. 2 hits for Rivera, 3 hits for Hill. JP Arencibia has a double tonight. He's also hit into a double play. Boy, there's some big runners on base now. 6th inning in a 1-0 ball game.
8 hits for the Blue Jays, but only 1 run.
Now they are 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Good RBI situation for Arencibia. 1st and 3rd, nobody out. He's got good power to all fields. This is where you want to stay in the big part of the diamond. Good hat.
Take 1 pitch to try and knock it out of the ballpark. I think that's what JP was thinking right there. If he throws me a first pitch fastball, I'm going to try and uncork it. Now he's got to put on some good fundamental hitting right here. Think about right center field. That'll keep that front shoulder in.
Rivera bluffed towards second. This was the same combination of base runners that the Blue Jays used for a steal of home. Then Rosario, the right-hander, Escalona, the left-hander, loosening up for the Astros.
Start to break like that, and the second baseman starts covering, and you got the whole right side to just roll the ball through.
But the infield has really shortened up the middle. That would suggest that if the ball's hit right at either the shortstop or the second baseman, they might be coming home.
They might be coming home.
Astros have really struggled to score runs. They have scored just 6 runs in their last 4 games coming into this ball game tonight. Pulled off that off-speed pitch.
That's why you want to be thinking middle of the diamond or right center field. When he hangs a curveball like that, you're right on it.
Would you trade a double play for a run here, given the struggles of the Astros?
I would try and get the run at the plate.
I agree with you. Houston just hasn't scored many runs of late, and they'll afford to fall down by 2. Little flare into center field. Hill is going back to third to tag. Bourne on the run, has a good shot at home, and they cut the ball off. Not deep enough. 1 out, first and third. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. The Cubs playing at Fenway Park against the Red Sox after a 93-year absence.
Yeah, last time, what, Cubs, Red Sox?
Yep.
World Series?
Long time ago. So Brad Mills with that slow, deliberate walk to the mound suggests that he's going to make a pitching change here. He's got a hand on his hip. He looks like he's talking strategy once again. Maybe not ready to make a change. Rodriguez has been good. Anuri Rodriguez ready to face Eric Thames. Thames has the only RBI in the ball game, and now Mills has indeed made the call for the left-hander. Rodriguez's night has come to an end, but a good start for the 23-year-old right-hander. He leaves trailing by 1. We are in the 6th inning, a 1-0 ball game. Will go to the mound for the Blue Jays. It'll be closed by Brett Myers tomorrow. The action begins at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie and Greg. Jays on Sportsnet. Game 2 of this 3-game series. First series of interleague play. Brandon Morrow has 37 strikeouts in 26 innings.
He's had half the amount of starts as some of the other starters, and he's second on the team in strikeouts. It's always fun when he's on the mound. But first things first, Sergio Escalano. Escalano comes in. He has been up for just 3 games. The only left-hander in the bullpen for Brad Mills. He's a sinker slider type of pitcher. Looking for the ground ball out. Doesn't throw real hard. Anuri Rodriguez did a good job here pitching into the 6th inning.
Aaron Hill with his 3rd hits at 3rd, and Juan Rivera's at first. 1 out. Eric Thames. Good rip of the first pitch fastball.
We have seen Thames mostly in spring training, and he hasn't really given in to left-handed pitchers. He has good power to the opposite field. In fact, we saw him hit a home run against Brad Thomas in Lakeland during spring training. A deep drive over the left center fence. Stays back behind it and fouls it out of play.
He doesn't give ground, meaning he shows holes in his swing if he opens up a little bit too quickly. I hope while he was on deck watching Escalona work out and get loose, that he was watching his breaking ball, because he's probably going to get one here at some point. He's looking for a strikeout.
Thames in a hole 0-2. There's the breaking ball, and there's the strikeout. Escalona gets his man. So he comes out of the bullpen in a big situation. First and third, gets the strikeout.
Just recalled a couple of weeks ago from AAA. And he indeed gets ahead of the fastball and then shows him his breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. And he's probably going to face just one batter.
Brad Mills took a long time to make sure that Del Rosario was ready down in the bullpen, and Escalona does his job. He was given one batter. That was the left-hander Eric Thames, and strikes him out. So Escalona leaves in favor of Del Rosario, who will come into the game with runners at the corners and 2 outs. A chance to face Houston for 2 more games here. It'll be Brandon Morrow tomorrow. 1:07 p.m. start, and then Sunday another afternoon game to wrap up this 3-game interleague series. For tickets, you can log on to BlueJays.com or call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234, or you can stop by most Rogers Plus locations. So the Houston bullpen trying to keep it a 1-run game. It's 1-0. Enario Del Rosario will work with 2 on and 2 outs to Rajai Davis. Base hit into left field. Hill comes in to score. Davis jumps on the first pitch and delivers a 2-out base hit. Not wasting any time.
Why? Why waste any time? That'll mess up the plans of Brad Mills, the manager for the Astros, as JoJo Reyes loves that. Rajai Davis not wasting any time. Sidearm right here. That fastball is going to come right back inside, and it works out nicely as Rajai Davis drives in his 6th run of the season.
Jason Nix in the 9th spot takes that inside fastball. Boy, that's that approach Davis has implemented. Get up on the plate, look for something inside, and turn on it. That's exactly what he did.
His weakness is when the ball is going away from him, from a right-hander. That time with Del Rosario throwing the ball sidearm, that fastball is going to come right back into his sweet spot.
Pretty good pitch right down the middle for a strike. Blue Jays have added an insurance run. It's a 2-0 ball game. Rajay Davis with the 2-out RBI single to left. Rivera is at second. A breaking ball. JoJo Reyes has done a good job. He has held the Astros to just 4 hits. Honori Rodriguez has been charged with both runs. He gave up 8 hits. Pitched very well. Just walked 1 batter.
3 strikeouts. Still on the hook for the runner at second base, Juan Rivera.
Been a real struggle offensively for the Astros to score runs. Nick strikes out, but the Blue Jays get an insurance run here in the 6th. Rajay Davis delivers with the 2-out base hit. It's 2-0 Blue Jays. At the 2011 MasterCard Memorial Cup from Mississauga, Ontario. The action continues tomorrow with Owens Sound Attack taking on Kootenay Ice, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Great Memorial Cup action, and how about those hockey sweaters? The Jets are back in hockey business. Winnipeg will have a team next year in the NHL, and that's great news for Canadian hockey fans.
Done deal, right?
Yeah.
Atlanta moving to Winnipeg.
Yep.
All right.
Winnipeg will have hockey once again. Congratulations, all you great hockey fans. That's great news. Carlos Lee with a ball and a strike. Lee is 0 for 2 tonight. One hopper knocked down by Escobar. Then it's Academic. Once he gets it with that powerful arm, you are out.
He puts the time in with Brian Butterfield day after day, getting good jumps on the ball. Get your ground balls, and he's got life when he is working. He comes out here and plays hard and practices hard, and that's why you're going to see great plays like this from Escobar.
He has really improved defensively at shortstop.
Just 3 errors all season long.
All throughout batting practice, you can hear Escobar hollering for Butterfield. He calls him mantequilla. That's Spanish for butter. He says, mantequilla, let's go to work. A pop-up in foul ground down the right field side, and it hits on the warning track. tell you what, if you had a chance as a fan to come here before the gates open, you would see a baseball clinic going on every day. Torey Lovello has the outfielders out working with them. Brian Butterfield has the infielders on the end of a fungo. And he's in a work zone. He always talks about that. Hey, men working here, step back.
yeah, we're not allowed to get into his little zone. Stay away from his little pile of baseballs.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing. He's so meticulous, and he piles up the little baseballs he uses for the fungal practice, and if anybody disrupts that, it messes him up. So naturally, every day somebody kicks the pile. Escobar deep in the hole, on the run, in the dirt, not in time. Jason Michaels with an infield hit. Not much that Escobar could do about that. He was in shallow left when he gloved it.
Yeah, Michaels runs too well. Gets a good jump on the ball and gets to it. Look how he comes out of nowhere. He's got enough arm to get across that diamond, but Michaels just runs too well.
Just the 5th hit of the night for Houston. It comes with 1 out here in the 7th. Matt Downs bunts at it for a strike. Downs has done a good job. He's basically a utility player. He's been a good pinch hitter for Brad Mills. And he's got some pop, as you saw. He has 3 homers and 11 RBI.
6 starts at third, 3 at second. This will be his first start at first base today.
He cut it a fastball.
With the left-hander on the mound, Brett Wallace gets the night off.
Former Blue Jay Brett Wallace, who got off to a torrid start, but has cooled off dramatically. We'll probably see him in the lineup tomorrow against Brandon Morrow. John Roush loosening up in the Blue Jays bullpen. It's a 2-0 game. JoJo Reyes has been on his game. Hit on the ground. Escobar rights himself and retires. Downs on the plate. Michaels moves into second.
Save during the lawn and garden sale only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
So JP Arancibia with a short message to JoJo Reyes. Reyes has pitched into the 7th inning with 2 outs. John Roush is loosening up in the bullpen.
Reyes has given him innings this year. 3 times he has given John Farrell 7 innings. Johnson has looked good tonight. Double and a hit by pitch.
First pitch strike. Johnson's got some power. 4 home runs last year in 341 at bats. He hit 11 homers for the Astros. Well, Reyes has still got a little extra zip on his fastball.
miles an hour on that last one. Now let's see if you can expand that strike zone and see if Chris Johnson will chase.
He's in a swing mode for sure. 0-2, 2 outs. Goes down the right side, but slices it into the seats.
Got to figure out right now what you have in your arsenal to get him out.
That's why Arancibia is out to talk to Reyes. I wouldn't mess around with anything on the inner half. Johnson's got big power. You're asking for trouble if you try to bust him inside, even though that late swing suggests maybe, just maybe, you could sneak one in there.
Yeah, last time, or the first time up, that's the pitch that he hit down the left field line for a single and was thrown out at second.
Another 0-2 pitch.
Not a bad idea. Go upstairs. Let's elevate and see if he's in swing mode.
I would stay away. If he's going to hurt you, make him go the opposite field. Stay down and away. Get him to chase. Bounce something.
What's your thoughts on getting beat by your second best pitch?
I wouldn't challenge him right here on the inner half. Changeup. That's his best pitch tonight.
The changeup has been golden for JoJo Reyes all night long. He comes up with a strikeout. Number 7. He gets Johnson to end the 7th. Good outing for JoJo Reyes.
And John Farrell and Bruce Walton congratulate him for a fine outing. He is in position for his first win since 2008.
Manager comes over and shakes your hand. Pitching coach, you're probably out of the ball game. It's now up to the bullpen to save it for him. What a job by Reyes. 4th time this year that he has given him 7 innings in a game.
He walked just 1, hit a batter, and struck out 7. Yunel Escobar doubled his last time up. Swings at the first pitch and bounces it to Johnson at 3rd. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell for an update. Rodriguez went 5 1/3, gave up 8 hits. He was charged with 2 earned runs. One of those runs came in after he left the ball game. Rajay Davis came up with a big 2-out hit. Just 82 pitches. Very efficient outing for Rodriguez.
Yeah, his longest outing this season. I guess he's still working on building up some arm strength since they moved him out of the bullpen into the starting rotation.
Corey Patterson is 1 for 2 with a walk. Bounces it to 2nd. 2 quick outs here in the 7th. Bautista's been shut out. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Blue Jays have 9 hits.
See if they pitch him a little differently now with nobody on base. His last 2 times up. A lot of off-speed pitches.
One inside off the plate. It's 2-0. He thought about it, but didn't recognize that pitch was way inside. It's 3-0. Tony Randazzo down at first base said there was no swing. Green light.
Oh, yeah.
Took a strike. Home for his last 10 plate appearances. He has a couple of walks in that stretch. He struck out last time up. And he'll take another walk.
Seen during the lawn and garden sale. Only at Home Hardware and Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Bautista's aboard with 2 outs for the red-hot Aaron Hill. Hill has 2 doubles and a single. He's scored a run, 3 for 3 tonight, average up to 252. Bautista was thinking about going.
Every one of these players are thinking about going any time in the game. Gets out there and in between. Aaron Hill has had 4 hits in a game 9 times in his career. Hasn't done it yet this year. The most he has had was 3. The last time he got 4 hits was last September the 11th, 2009 at Detroit. And the way he is swinging the bat right now, he can score Bautista from first base.
Looks at an inside pitch. No, it's good to see Hill. He is short and quick to a ball tonight. Just missed hitting his first home run of the season. Way back in the second, hit a ball right off the top of the wall in left.
John Farrell certainly knows how important the number 4 hitter is going to be for the Blue Jays. Whoever that is all season long. Adam Lind was raking before he got hurt. Just searching for somebody to create some runs behind Jose Bautista.
Bautista kind of had an awkward step when he got back to that bag. Now he's kind of doing some groundskeeping over there. Replaced his divot. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. A 2-0 game, bottom of the 7th. Hit to third. Johnson will roll across the diamond. Hill's retired for the first time tonight. We have played 7 innings here at Rogers. Blue Jays lead it 2-0. JoJo Reyes in line for the W. and struck out 7. He was on his game all night long.
Had a good fastball, and he spotted it in good places, down and away or inside. But the pitch for me tonight for Reyes was the changeup. He got a lot of his strikeouts off that changeup. 7 strikeouts, which is a season high for JoJo Reyes. Just 1 walk, no earned runs, and 5 hits. 5 hits, also the second lowest hit total that he's given up in the game this year.
Another good example of what Bruce Walton's looking for. 93 pitches through 7 innings from his starter. John Roush now will come on to work the 8th inning.
Good game for the 18th time. It's been a while since we've seen John Roush. Back at Minnesota on the 14th, where he picked up the win in that game. That was that extra inning game where he threw 2 innings, got a hit and a strikeout.
Pinch hitter is Brian Bogosiewicz, left-handed hitter. Former pitcher who's made the conversion to position player. Comes off the bench and bats for Bill Hall.
Another one of those #1 picks from the 2005 draft. We've been talking about that recently when Ricky Romero's on the mound. Bogosiewicz was a #1 pick. Former pitcher. The club's best pinch hitter.
2 balls and a strike. John Roush, we have seen this all year long. He is a strike thrower. Gets the bouncing ball to first. Rivera is there. He'll toss to Roush, covering. First out of the 8th. JoJo Reyes, this is his 27th start since his last win. His last win back in 2008. You can see Matt Keogh has the all-time record, 28 starts without a win. That's going back to 1920. Bob Miller had a 27-game streak. He's the first pitching coach for the Blue Jays. Anthony Young pitched with the Mets at the end. And JoJo Reyes looking for his first win in 2 years, 11 months, and 5 days.
5 more outs, and we can stop talking about that. I'm sure JoJo is reminded about that every time he takes the mound.
J.R. Tolles, the catcher. Tolles has popped up twice tonight. Juan Rivera made a heck of a play in the 5th inning, sliding into foul ground up over near the fence in foul territory. Bounced foul. Mentioned that Roush worked 2 innings against Minnesota, picked up that W on the 14th of Minnesota. Ball in the dirt. JoJo Reyes was in line for the win against Tampa Bay Tuesday, May 3rd. Into the 9th inning, John Roush came into the game and gave up a 2-run home run to B.J. Upton. A walk-off home run. This ball is lifted into shallow right field. Bautista will get there. 2 outs. Fans, a reminder, the 2011 MLB All-Star Game is July 12th in Phoenix, Arizona. Vote for your favorite Blue Jays players, Jose Bautista, Yunel Escobar, and throw a couple of votes in the way of JP Arancibia. You can cast your vote at BlueJays.com. Fans are allowed to vote a maximum of 25 times per email address. Vote early, vote often. Send your Blue Jays to the All-Star Game in Phoenix. Top of the order, Michael Bourne's had a couple of hits tonight. Yunel Escobar has played like an all-star. Jose Bautista has been an all-star. Ball and a strike. That extra run is huge. Blue Jays got an insurance run in the 6th. Rajai Davis with a 2-out single to left.
And even though the Astros have been struggling to score runs, hitting the ball out of the ballpark, you're right, that is a huge run. The tying run just doesn't come to the plate every time a batter comes to the plate. You got to get somebody on before you start thinking about tying it up.
Full count, 2 outs. Brad Mills' team down by 2. Where was that? John Roush thought he had made a good pitch.
Wouldn't want to have that big man be mad at me that time. Look at that. Good job by Aaron Sebia to hold it. You can see the home plate umpire signal that he felt that that one was outside, but it looked like it clipped the plate. Certainly high enough.
Aaron Sebia has improved dramatically on his ability to receive the baseball. He did a good job, gave the umpire a good look. Clint Barmas 0 for 2 with a walk. Bourne had a big lead. Michael Bourne has a stolen base. He's also been caught stealing for the first time this year by a catcher. Aaron Sebia threw him out in the 6th. John Roush in relief of JoJo Reyes. Reyes went 7 strong innings. Roush ahead 0-2.
He comes in here throwing strikes. John Farrell talking strategy with his bench coaches. Barmas has some power. A couple of years ago when he was a member of the Colorado Rockies, he had 23 home runs. Still have to be careful with it.
Reaches for that, fouls it back. Was that before the humidifier or after the humidifier?
I think that was after, right? But I get your drift. Just a couple of years ago.
The humidor in Colorado has knocked the home runs down dramatically. Another 0-2 pitch. Bourne's at first, and Roush will check him back. Barmas was the everyday shortstop, and then he suffered a shoulder injury off the field. And then, of course, a fellow named Tulowitzki came along, and now Barmas is in Houston. And lays off that high fastball.
He was acquired in a trade for a right-handed pitcher by the name of Felipe Polino to handle the shortstop position for the Astros. His season started a little bit late. He was on the DL with a fractured left hand. Missed the first 25 games of the season.
Bounced and blocked by Aaron Sebia. Keeps Bourne at first.
It's another part of his game that you see steady improvement from Aaron Sebia. Watch how he slides over and just squares it up and just tries to bounce that ball off his chest protector, keep it in front of him.
Never really thought about catching it at all, and he used great technique to get his chest protector in front of that baseball. So it's a 2-2 count. Base hit up the middle. Michael Bourne will stop at second. Michael Bourne didn't even look like he was thinking about the possibility of going first to third, just kind of conceded he could only advance to second.
You have so many different ways to score from third base. With that great speed, the outfield was playing pretty deep with the tying run at the plate. Just moved up 90 feet.
Hunter Pence Very good RBI man for the Astros. 31 ribbies. Michael Bourne with the 2-out walk on a very close pitch. Clint Barmas right behind him with a single to center. John Roush with 2 outs in the 8th. It's just off the plate outside.
Pretty good numbers. 2 outs, runners in scoring position for Pence.
Well, Pence uses the whole field, and he'll spread out the defense all over the diamond.
Team's best hitter, Hunter Pence.
Check swing goes too far. Ball in the strike. Astros trying to mount a comeback here in the 8th inning. Barron Mills Ball Club has really struggled to score runs. Right field and deep. Bautista on the move. He won't get this one. It is off the top of the wall. 2 runs are going to come in toward the plate. Here's the throw to the plate. Arancibia can't make the play. It's a tie game. Hunter Pence delivers again.
Their best RBI man, their best hitter, smokes a ball to right field. Ball away, but it's up. He's got his own style. This ball's hit hard. Bautista does a good job of getting the ball back into the infield, and they had a shot at the plate, but the ball short hops Arancibia when he goes out to get it. Barma scores all the way from first base, and we're tied.
Carlos Lee, the cleanup batter. Hunter Pence, 33 ribbies on the season. A clutch opposite field 2-out double. His 13th of the season. He is 2 for 4 tonight. Center field. Davis has a beat on it. The Astros are retired in the 8th, but they tie it up all with 2 outs. 2-out walk, a single and a double. It's 2-2. And Roush is talking to Brian Gorman about that pitch that walked Gorman. By Rogers. Hello, Speed Boost. Goodbye waiting. Another first only from Rogers.
Juan Rivera with a couple of hits tonight, but it was his glove that will be picked for our play of the game. A nice play in the 5th inning, ending that inning with a runner at second base and 2 outs. Nice over the shoulder catch to help JoJo Reyes tonight.
Well, Juan Rivera a scheduled leadoff batter, and Brad Mills has made a pitching change. Wilton Lopez runs out of the bullpen to start the 8th inning. Astros have tied it with 2 in the top of the 8th. It's a 2-2 game.
He's pitched some good baseball. 321 earned run average, 14 innings. He's got a sinker, a slider, and a split finger. A good sinker right there, right under the hands of Juan Rivera. Ground ball pitcher you'll get from Lopez.
Lopez is 27 years old. He was claimed on waivers from San Diego, April of 2009. Another good sinking fastball. Rivera's down on strikes. JoJo Reyes, the hard luck pitcher, he did everything he could do to win a game tonight. He left with a 2-0 lead. And John Farrell knows that pitchers have only one thing they can control, and that's their outing, and he was great.
He certainly was. Roush thought he had the strikeout to end the inning. That was against Michael Bourne. It ended up being a 2-out walk, and he would come around to score on a double.
J. Pierre and Sebia. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And Sebia had a golden opportunity with runners at first and third back in the 6th inning. And he popped up to center, shallow center. Hill couldn't advance. Angel Sanchez comes off the bench and takes over defensively at second base. Strike 3 called. Good fastball on the outside corner, and you can see why Lopez has been so effective. He works both sides of the plate very well.
He certainly does. And you got to go up there hacking against him. He's only issued 5 walks in his last 44 appearances. He will come after you with a good fastball, sinker, and put you away with a splitter. That time he crosses up J. Pierre and Sebia with a good fastball.
Eric Thames jumps on the first pitch and fouls it back to the screen. Thames had a RBI ground out way back in the 2nd inning. He's also popped out and struck out. Good eye just off the plate with that 2-seam fastball. If you're thinking about a home run, Lopez hasn't allowed a home run this year. This is his 16th game. Took something off, a little splitter down and away.
Hasn't given up a home run, and Thames is looking for his first big leaguer home run. Tough to do it when a guy can change speeds like that and paint the corner.
1-2. Another split finger pitch that drifted off the plate. Off the plate inside. Lopez has made some good pitches down and on the corners.
You're moving the ball around also. See if he challenges young Eric Thames here. 3-2.
Nope. Throw him a splitter and gets the strikeout. How about that for relief? Wilton Lopez comes in the 8th inning and strikes out the side to keep it a 2-2 ball game. We'll go to the 9th. Frank Francisco will come on for the Jays. All new Equus from Hyundai, redefining luxury.
Corey Patterson came into this game with 999 career hits, and in the 3rd inning here, 1,000. Solid single in the left field. So congratulations to Corey Patterson on his 1,000th career hit.
Great benchmark for Corey Patterson, and boy, he's been swinging the bat very well. So we are in the 9th inning of a 2-2 game. Frank Francisco on. It'll be Michaels, Downs, and Chris Johnson, the scheduled hitters for the Astros.
Francisco pitched in last night's game, picked up his 5th save in 6 opportunities versus Tampa Bay. Solid inning for Francisco.
Michaels cuts on a fastball and misses. Another good heater from Francisco.
Back-to-back days for Frankie Francisco. Will challenge you with a fastball. Not afraid to throw it at any time.
Well, it's good to see the velocity when he does go back-to-back games. An opportunity to really get a gauge on just how healthy he is, and boy, since he's been activated, he's been throwing the ball well. Peel down at first, and Tony Randazzo says no swing. Francisco with the breaking ball. Francisco started the season on a disabled list. He had a bit of a pec muscle problem in the front of his chest. Took some extra time, got ready, and he's been throwing very well ever since.
We didn't see the velocity that we're seeing now for Francisco in spring training, and then when he came off the DL, he's building up the arm strength.
Splitter missed down on him.
That's his strikeout pitch. He's been able to get his fastball over for strikes. Blue Jays bullpen, the best ERA in the American League.
Coming into this game, a 2.72 ERA. That's the 4th best in Major League Baseball. Full count, leadoff batter here in the 9th inning. This game is tied at 2-all. Michaels just a bit late on that Francisco fastball. Jason Michaels is now 34 years old. Actually, he turned 35 on the 4th of May. This is his 10th year in the big leagues. Strike 3 call. Good fastball at the knees at 95.
And when he comes out of that bullpen and he's got that good downward movement on his fastball, stays on top of it. That one at 95 on the inner half. Pat Henke was talking about Francisco, saying he's a big guy and he's got great stuff, but he's also a strike thrower. No wildness to him.
Yeah, when he does miss, more often than not, he misses to the good part of the zone, off the zone, down, in and out, off the plate. Matt Downs is 0 for 3. He's late on that fastball, and the velocity is jumping up a little bit for Francisco here with 1 out. There's Pat Henkin, has done a great job in this bullpen. Boy, he is quite an asset for Bruce Walton and John Farrell. Keeping his guys ready, keeping them on top of the situation, and the bullpen has responded accordingly.
We're going to lose one of their valuable guys out of that bullpen on Monday. But they've done a good job, all 8 of them.
Carlos Villanueva will start on Monday, and that's why they will be down a reliever. He will take the spot of Jesse Litch, who's been disabled. Popped up back behind home plate and over the net. So Villanueva has been a very valuable reliever. He has made 13 appearances, has a 1-0 record with a 1.48 ERA. Jesse Litch has a shoulder problem. He has been disabled, and he will be taken out of the rotation, obviously. 2-2. Well, you look at Villanueva's numbers for the season. He's pitched 24 1/3 innings. He's allowed 10 hits. That's a 132 opponent's batting average, and he's got the full assortment of pitches.
How many times has he come into a game in the 3rd inning or the 4th inning and really got the Blue Jays back into it by throwing up some zeros? Those 24 1/3 innings pitched tied for the most among American League relievers. It's been very valuable.
Quite a battle going on here between Matt Downs and Frank Francisco. It's a 2-2 count. Francisco wants another baseball. Sometimes pitchers get that ball in their hand when they get a new baseball, and it just feels like a basketball. Just too big, and you know, all baseballs are just a little bit different. Some feel like they've got great seams, other ones are flat with no seams. So Francisco didn't like that last one.
Maybe it's not rubbed up enough, putting enough mud on there to get the shine off the baseball. He's thrown 13 pitches already in this inning.
Just off the plate. He doesn't like that baseball. Now this time in the game, you're in the 9th inning, and that first complement of rubbed up baseballs might be coming to an end. So the clubhouse attendants will scramble and rub up some new ones, but generally they're not quite as good at rubbing them up. Boy, Downs is having some at bat here. That was a pretty good pitch he spoiled. Blue Jays scored a single run in the 2nd. They added another run in the 6th. Houston tied it up with 2 outs in the 8th. Hunter Pence with a opposite field 2-run double. What an at bat for Matt Downs. He'll work Francisco for the walk. We'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon, game 2 of the 3-game series. It'll be Brandon Morrow going to the mound. The action starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's the pregame show with Jamie and Greg. The Jays are on Sportsnet. Astros against the Blue Jays. Morrow will be opposed by the veteran Brett Myers. In that pregame show tomorrow, Jamie and Greg will profile Deck McGuire, the former #1 pick that's pitching so well at Dunedin, Florida right now. And they will also take a look back at the late J.R. Richard in his career, the rise and fall of J.R. Richard. Former great pitcher for the Houston Astros.
I bet you Deck McGuire is not going to be at Dunedin very much longer.
Yeah, Deck McGuire is a college player that came out of Georgia Tech. So he is a little bit older, a little more advanced than the regular pitchers at the Florida State League. And he's pitched very well of late. When you look at Deck McGuire's numbers in A-ball, he is 3-2 with a very good 2.32 ERA in his 7 starts.
And averaging about a strikeout an inning, just 14 base on balls in about 43 innings. So he might be moving up quickly.
Chris Johnson, big whip at that high fastball. He had the count in his favor. Chris Johnson is the son of the Boston Red Sox first base coach Ron Johnson. Tell you what, Ron's very proud of all of his kids and certainly pleased that Chris has made it to the big leagues.
He's got some pop too. You mentioned the 11 home runs that he hit last year in about a half a season.
And power is something that's really hard to find, and young players generally takes a while for them to develop power. Johnson's got the count in his favor, 3-1, 1 out. Astros batting in the top of the 9th inning. Late on that fastball. Full count, 1 out. Keep your eye on Downs at first. He might be on the move. There he goes. Long drive to left field. Corey Patterson will watch this one into the seat. Chris Johnson has hit a 2-run home run here in the 9th.
No doubt about that one. Fastball. He was taking some rips with the count in his favor. Just missing him, fouling him back, just getting that timing down from Frank Francisco. And then 3-2, fastball inner half. He pulls his hands in. And no doubt about it. Patterson goes back, but it's in the third row above the bullpen.
Just the 26th home run hit by the Astros, and it's a big one. Angel Sanchez, his first at bat tonight. He came on defensively in the 8th inning, taking over after Bill Hall was lifted for the pinch hitter. So Chris Johnson, with his 5th home run of the season, has put the Astros out in front here in the 9th. Still just 1 out. Sanchez hitting .260 for the season. He's driven in 17 runs.
Yes, that's tied for 3rd on this team in RBIs. 16 of those came as a shortstop, which tied for 4th most in the National League for a shortstop. Sean Camp is up as Frank Francisco's pitch count now has risen to 26. Back-to-back days for Francisco, and with the pitch count like it is, might not be available tomorrow.
There's a base hit into center for Sanchez. And John Farrell didn't waste any time after that base hit. He popped out of the dugout and has made the call to the bullpen. Sean Camp will come on in relief of Frank Francisco. Francisco has given up a couple of hits and 2 runs here in the 9th inning. And the Astros have taken a 2-run lead. So Sean Camp will come on with a man aboard and just 1 out, trying to keep it a 2-run ball game. Following the game on 3 of the Sportsnet channels, you'll be watching Connected, Sportsnet East, Sportsnet Ontario, and Sportsnet Pacific. On Sportsnet West, it'll be the Braves at the Angels in Anaheim. The Atlanta Braves and the Angels. Tim Hudson against Irvin Santana. A great pitching matchup coming up later on Sportsnet. Mike Barnett talking to Chris Johnson, who hit the home run off Frank Francisco, and Sean Kemp coming on.
Camp on in this ball game with an ERA at 2.14, 3rd on the club in 18 appearances. Right-handers hitting just 167 versus Sean Camp this year. He was pitched in different spots for John Farrell, and interleague just hasn't been kind to the Blue Jays.
No, it sure hasn't. When you see the best record, that came in '98. That was just 9-7. Worst record, 4-11. They played okay here at Rogers Center, and that has to be because they are built for the DH, and they get to use the DH when they play at home. But take them out of that American League style of play, and it has been a disappointing record.
Pitchers have to hit. They have to run the bases. You take away an extra bat. It's just a different game.
First pitch inside, the catcher J.R. Tolles.
Long look by Tolles down to Dave Clark, the third base coach. He might want to start the runner here. Create another scoring opportunity.
Camp's thinking along those lines. Sanchez will steal. Only tried one attempt. Astros have scored 2 in the 8th and 2 here in the 9th. They have taken a 4-2 lead. There goes the runner, fouled off the catcher. Playing hit and run with the 2-run cushion. Sanchez will retreat to first.
Foul tip. It looked like it got him off the left shin guard.
So Brad Mills, they have broken out for 4 runs. They have scored 6 runs in the previous 4 games.
You know, on top of the foul ball, watch the follow through by J.R. Tolles. He picks on his opposite number, the catcher. And Sebia gets it right in the back.
And with that follow through. 2 balls and a strike. Another good hit and run count for Houston. They are up by 2 runs. Sanchez singled in his only at bat tonight. He came on defensively in the 8th inning. There he goes. Ball is hit on the ground. Escobar has to come after it. Oh, the first is wide of the mark. He calls him out as Rivera made a nice grab and maintained contact with the base. On the play, Sanchez goes all the way to third base.
Heads up base running by Sanchez. The reason you start the runner there, 2-1 count, the worst case scenario, you're going to have a runner in scoring position with your leadoff hitter, probably your best hitter. Good job by Rivera to adjust to that throw and complete the out over at first base.
A very good job. He took the short hop and caught the ball before he came off the bag. So now you got to be aware of the possibility of a bunt here, even with 2 outs. Bourne had a bunt single in the first. He tried it.
Zeroed in on you. Thinking right along with him. That's why it was so important for Sanchez to get all the way to third base. Puts a little bit more pressure on the infield. Infield has to come in a little bit closer. Look how close Escobar is, the shortstop.
Got to shorten up like you're playing for 2. As Bourne, running from that left-handed batter's box, gets a running start. So now with 2 strikes, Jason Nix will back up at third base. Not expecting Bourne to try to bunt with 2 strikes.
Got to be wary of that chopper out in front of home plate.
Bouncing ball, and hit Camp. Escobar won't have the play. Extra insurance run comes in to score. Sanchez scores the 3rd run of the inning. That ball was deflected off the leg of Sean Camp. Escobar had to change directions and not much of a chance to get Bourne, who runs so well.
Yeah, he knew he had to be quick. He tries that bounce play over to first base. Watch him go to his left, react, now stop, go to his right, and he tries to bounce it over there. The 2 hops is going to take the sting out of that ball, and Bourne just outruns the baseball.
It's a running start out of that left-handed hitter's box. There he goes. Great jump. Throw from Aaron Sebia. Not in time. Bourne has his second steal of the night. He now has 16. Boy, he gets great acceleration.
Not a real aggressive lead, but after about a step and a half, he's full throttle. And he's right into that bag with a good pop-up slide.
Off-speed pitch pulled foul. The Astros coming into this game tonight just 6-16 on the road. They have not played well away from home. They've not played particularly well at home. They have had a tough start to their season, just 15-29. They're already 10.5 games back in the NL Central. They had lost 5 in a row. They got off to a decent start, but boy, over the last 15 games, it's been a nightmare for Brad Mills.
Take a look at the run differential over the last 15 games. -30. Defense hasn't helped them out. Batting average, so it's been a little bit of everything. But tonight they're getting good clutch hitting, the 2-out hitting, and they played hard all the way through.
A little looping fly ball into center field. Rajay Davis will get there, and the inning will finally come to an end. But the Astros score 3 in the ninth to take a 3-run lead. It'll be Davis, Nix, and Escobar when the Blue Jays bat, bottom of the ninth. Monson is the closer, and he is a strike-throwing machine. In his last 7 appearances, he's thrown nothing but strikes.
Look at the numbers for Monson, a .218 earned run average. The Astros got him from the New York Yankees in exchange for Lance Berkman right at the trade deadline.
Bautista talking to Escobar about Melanson. Fastball, slider, curveball.
Yeah,
got a good curveball.
Bautista knows him. He's got a very good curveball. They got him from the Yankees in exchange for Lance Berkman right at the trade deadline last year. When Brandon Lyon went on the disabled list, he was closing for the Astros. Melanson has come in and done a nice job for him.
Brett Wallace comes in defensively. The former Blue Jay takes over for Matt Downs at first base. So the Blue Jays have some work to do. Rajay Davis picked up an RBI in his last at bat, a 2-out single to left. They need some base runners. Check swing foul. They mentioned Melanson. In his last 7 appearances, he's thrown 64 of his 82 pitches for strikes.
Be ready to swing it. Fastball, curveball. Going to come right after you.
There's a base hit into right, and that'll get things going here in the ninth.
Shorten it up. Pitchers have been trying to throw the ball away to Rajai Davis. Stays right on that one and hits it into right field.
Blue Jays have had 12 come from behind wins. Jason Nix 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Again, the scouting report on Melanson. He throws strikes. Pulled foul. Now the Blue Jays, of course, number 9 hitter, they'd love to turn this thing over and get down to Jose Bautista. He's batting 3rd in the order. Melanson doesn't want anything to do with Bautista.
No. And right now, Blue Jays, all they're thinking about base runners. How am I going to get on base? Grind out at bats. He'll take anything right here. Hit by pitch, error, anything. Just to keep it moving.
Keep the line moving. That's the thought on the Blue Jays bench. Escobar is on deck. One and 2 to Nix. Chase the pitch in it. He strikes out. First out of the ninth.
That's the good curveball that we were talking about that he will use for strikeouts. It's right over the top and breaks straight down. Nix cannot hold up. Swings right over the top of it.
Thing that makes that so effective, it comes out of his hand on exactly the same plane as the fastball. And it's an old-fashioned 12-6 breaking ball. One out, back to the top of the order. Escobar has a double in 4 at-bats.
Melanson picked up his first save a couple of weeks ago against Pittsburgh. His first major league save through 8 pitches. 6 of them for strikes. Looking to nail down one right here.
Ball on the strike. Blue Jays need a runner to get on to bring the tying run to the plate. Trail by 3. It's 5-2 Astros. Astros have scored 2 in the 8th and 3 in the 9th. Breaking ball. Coles blocks it, and Davis holds his ground. Got to make sure you can get there safely, and Davis, his run really doesn't mean much.
No. Doesn't mean anything. The only reason he would run it would be to stay out of the double play, but I wouldn't take that chance right now.
And now Toll's going to talk about it. Well, the Astros are trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, and they know that can't afford to make any mistakes. Brad Arnsberg was the pitching coach for the Blue Jays from 2005 to 2009. He is now in his 2nd year with Houston. Bouncing ball. Sanchez to second for 1. Back to first. Double play, and that will do it. Boy, what a good double play. Sanchez started it, threw a strike to second. Melanson gets the save.
but the Astros come back with 5 late runs to win the opener of this 3-game series.
This one looked like it was going to be in the bag, the way JoJo Reyes was playing. But the Astros come up with some clutch hits and some good defense. Right in the middle of the diamond, ends it on that double play. Melanson picks up the save. Lopez will get the win, and the Blue Jays have to rebound and rebound quickly.
Well, they sure do. That's a tough loss. They lose 5-2 in the opener, and we will be back tomorrow afternoon at 1:07 p.m. Stay tuned for Connected. Thanks for watching.